What? Think for yourselves. Don't be sheep.
Escape the age.
What are batteries? Well, batteries are things that can store energy, and then you can use it to fuel something else. They're also toxic waste, and a terrible way, I think, to fuel a car. They can also explode, so I'd rather stick with other things. I mean, to have like a 500 kilogram or a 10-ton battery underneath a truck, I mean, imagine how that thing would explode during a very hot summer day, or yeah, it's just toxic waste. But speaking about batteries, the human body, or maybe an energy storage, but because we spend our energy on so many things, which is then how we know that we're still alive, because we invest our energy into other living things, and then sometimes we hope to get something out of it. My battery is clearly running on empty, which is why I have to eat a lot, and which is also why I never gain weight, because all my energy goes into whatever I'm feeding at the moment, and there will always be something. So, you know, I'm transforming everything I have into other things. So batteries run on energy. You may be a battery. So if you're empty, you have to recharge yourself. You know, I can drink 15 coffee, but at some point it just doesn't do anything anymore. Because when you're tired, you're tired. You know, when you're dead, coffee may make you feel alive again, but you're still gonna be dead. At the moment, I feel like I'm literally killing myself through my art, which is then, of course, how artists manage to be reborn through their art and the creative process. And that takes a lot of patience with the artist, which is myself. So I can't just be this guy who, you know, knows what has to be done and then I just, you know, whip myself to do it. But it's essentially what I'm doing at the moment, because I know there's still juice left, right? You know, if I can still stand and hold the camera, you know, I can stand here and give you something just so you can start your day with a better mood. Oh God, you know, thank you for talking so much, because you give me so much energy. And the crazy thing is, every time I think I'm tired, I just hit the record button. It's like, cha-da! Yeah. So, you know, certain batteries only work with certain things. I realized that there are certain women I could never feed because they're too big for me. You know, as big as I think I am, you know, I think I'm the biggest guy in the world, you know, I think I'm a giant. But sometimes I meet women and I think they're too big, you know. If I'd sleep with her, you know, she'd just swallow me up and there'd be nothing left. And she would constantly make it our problem in our marriage. So I was also, or am looking for probably a small woman who's a bit like me. You know, I have a lot of love and a big heart, but I'm also tiny. And so, you know, you have to find a battery that fits the device or whatever. You know, device and battery, you know, if you put a huge battery into a small device, I mean, you won't even be able to put it in without breaking the device. It just won't work. So, yeah. And then there may be devices that are really greedy, you know, like, if I have a LED flashlight or a torch, you know, charging it once for 2 hours may give me 5 hours of light, but charging this camera for 1 hour or 2 hours only gives me 1 hour or 2 hours, depending on the light conditions and the quality settings of recording time. So that projected onto yourself and the body also means that, yeah, I mean, if you spend your time, you know, feeding large corporations, or if you spend time, you know, on YouTube, then your energy goes into YouTube. And that energy could go into, you know, the you that's hiking, the you that's cooking, the you that's doing yoga or pranayama, which is breath work, or doing all kinds of things, which is why at the moment all my energy is going into this and my laptop, and that's what I'm trying to change, right? So I just have to get it out of the way now so that I can start piling up energy that I can then invest into other things. So I also have to work with transitions because at the moment, you know, this camera is a bit like a leech, you know, okay, the leech that I'm feeding, so I can like dump it on the internet, but it doesn't really matter because it's still draining me. And if I would have to do this and still have a family, you know, I'm not so sure. So I also want to realize how I will be again if I stop recording myself and stop worshipping my outer appearance so much. You know, this is the list I made with all the titles. Now I'm just working through them, you know. So now comes something else.